Am I the AH for telling my mom that I will respect my dad's girlfriend more than my stepdad? Posted on March 22, 2023. Backstory. My mom cheated on my dad 7 years ago with my stepdad, Alan. I was 10 at that time. I knew that my mom had another boyfriend that made them to get a divorce. My dad was devastated, to say the least. My dad fought hard to get custody from my mom because he did not want to lose me at all. He did end up getting 50-50ths. Ever since my parents' divorce, I hated my mom. I hated that she hurt my dad. I remember my dad drinking himself to sleep after the divorce. I was 11 and had to push him out of the couch and clean his vomit. I saw what my mom did to my dad, and my stepdad was also to blame for it. My dad did clean up and started to make changes in his life and became a good father figure for me. But he still suffered from the aftermath of my mom's infidelity. He was finally in a better place now. He has worked enough to build a relationship with me too. Suffice to say, the relationship I had with my mom never recovered. I hated going to her place and watch her play family with some random guy. She never made an effort to keep our family together, yet she happily became the loving wife to him. I hated him too. My mom tried really hard to make me forgive her. She said sorry and apologized. I never missed a chance to remind her that she was the one who broke my family. It will make her cry that her own daughter wants nothing to do with her, but I didn't care. I would lock myself in my room the entire time and not come out. I was always loud and clear that I don't like my stepdad, even though he also tried to make it up to me. Any gift he would give me, I would just give it away. Last year my mom, Alan, and I had a huge fight. I called my mom a cheating whore who destroyed my family. I also called Alan a homewrecker and said, "I hope your own son gets cheated on so that you know what the pain is like." Alan screamed at me that he is tired of my shit. I left their house and went to stay with Dad. I thought it was so unfair that my mom lives happily ever after and my dad was left behind to pick the pieces of our broken home. That's when my dad sat me down and told me that I should have never talked to my mom like that. Sure, she made bad choice, but she is still my mother. And then he told me he forgave her and it is for the best that I forgive her because it will make me free. My dad went on to explain that in his therapy he realized his marriage had problems. He thought that just because everything was going on a routine and there was silence, he took it as a sign that everything was fine. However, he learned a lot about relationship and himself over the last 7 years and has tried to become someone I could look up to. He tells me he is dating someone else and he is happy with the life he has now, though there are some triggers. I was happy to hear that my dad was doing okay, and it made me realize I was being irrational. I am still mad at mom, but I decided to give her a chance. I said sorry to both my mom and stepdad. I also said sorry to my stepbrother and my half-brother. Things have been calm and cool for a while. I met my dad's girlfriend. She seems awesome. She has 2 kids who are under 10. Though she is much younger than my dad, but I didn't care. As long as dad is happy, I am happy for him. So, few days ago, I was chatting with my mom. I brought up the fact that I met my dad's girlfriend this week and she seems nice. My mom's expression changes. She went from having a smile to frown. She says, "I didn't know your dad was dating." I said I didn't either, but my dad is taking things slow. I told her she is really nice and cool. My mom then lashed out and called me a hypocrite. She said that for years her stepdad and her have been trying hard to make me forgive them. They went out of their ways to make it right, and I still didn't accept them. But I accepted my dad's girlfriend in a heartbeat, and suddenly she is this cool step-parent. I was angry too, so I blurted out, "At least she didn't cheat on my dad like you." I also said that I would never accept my stepdad as a good human because he is the reason why I grew up in a broken family, that I do not owe them anything after how they treated my dad. I respect my dad's girlfriend more than I respect them because at least she didn't cheat on him and left him to pick up the broken pieces of our family. In fact, she is the reason why dad is happy now, and she will always be above my stepdad. I stormed out and stayed with the friends. I know I shouldn't have said that. I mean, firstly, my dad and his girlfriend has only been dating for 6 months. My mom and dad were married for 13 years, and I felt like I oversold their relationship to mom. But I feel like in his hole for how I worded it. Update. Hey moms, I need mothers to understand my pain because my mom doesn't get it. Posted on March 23, 2023. I just want to vent in here. so please bear with me. My mom and I don't have a good relationship. This was really because she cheated on my dad with my stepdad. I was 10 at that time. I remember watching my mom and dad fight, my dad crying and saying, "Why did she do this to him? Why did she break our family? She didn't stay, she left us and went to have her perfect life with my stepdad." I knew why. I was a kid but still understood that she broke a promise to my dad. The very mom who told me to always keep promises broke her vow. I was devastated. I would cry because our house felt empty. My dad spiraled into depression and alcohol, but he came out clean just for me. I saw the amount of dedication my father gave to just provide some stability. He was there for me when I cried holding our family photo. I sometimes saw him holding that picture of us and being sad. I wish she could just understand how much I was hurt. But she didn't. She married my stepdad after 5 months. Her divorce was finalized. She only gave me a vague half-assed apology. She didn't even apologize to my dad for her infidelity. I remember our camping trip when I was 8 and we took a picture. I also went on a trip with her new family, even though I didn't want to. She wanted to recreate the same picture except this time it was with my stepdad. It just made me angry, because it looked like she wanted to replace my dad with a homewrecker. My therapist told me I shouldn't have to pick sides. I can love both my mom and dad despite their failures. But I couldn't. I do love my mom, but it is just not the same. As I grew up, I saw the difference between my mom and dad. My dad was always concerned about my well-being, providing me stability and an open space to show my emotion. Whereas my mom was only concerned that I accept her husband as my family. She kept pushing and trying to get him involved in my life. She even asked me to call him dad. That was the first time I lashed out on her. I told her I already have a dad and I will never replace him with anyone. She got upset and told me, "When you will grow up you will know why I did what I did. It was wrong, but you would understand what led me to it." I am almost 18. I still don't understand why she had to hurt me and my dad. I get that they had marital problems, but if they divorced amicably I would understand. But no, she hurt me and my dad and broke our trust. I have been struggling with this a lot. I feel like I am the villain here because she sometimes implies that it is my fault for not accepting her husband in my life, that I am punishing her for what she did 7 years ago. But why doesn't she understand how her actions have hurt me? Why does she want me to just sweep it under the rug like nothing happened? Like her cheating and leaving didn't happen. I cannot play house with her and her family. I wish she could somehow understand what I am going through, what my dad went through, but she just doesn't get it. So, moms here, please tell me that I am not going crazy for this. Update on the same day. This is not a very exciting update, but a lot of the people have shown me love and support in this community. Also, I need to address one thing. Many people criticized my dad for being an alcoholic. Well, he is not an alcoholic. He hasn't drank in 6 years. Yes, I did mention that he drowned his pain in alcohol when my mom cheated and after the divorce, but he stopped when he saw me trying to clean up his vomit. I know he was wrong, but he has done literally everything to make it up to me. He went to rehab and threw away all the alcoholic drinks in the house. He went to therapy and worked hard on his career. He even got me to therapy. He has apologized for his toxic behavior and also that he tried his best to keep our family together. He has always made an open space for me to express my feelings. I feel safe with him. I trust him. He never bad-mouthed my mother in front of me. Yes, he still suffers from anxiety, but he has it under control. I hated watching his and our lives getting uprooted. So, I don't think it is fair for you guys to blame my dad only when he changed for me. He came clean. He stopped being an alcoholic. But say this to me, can my mother undo her infidelity? Also, I know their marriage had problems, but is cheating the right thing for her to do? And I haven't mentioned a major thing, that is my stepdad and my dad used to be friends until the discovery of my mom's infidelity. He cut him off his life too. So yeah, you can imagine the pain both me and my dad went through. But I am proud of him for keeping his head straight. So now the update. I talked to my dad and arranged therapy with my old therapist. I also suggested that we need family therapy as well. My dad fully supported me and said he will look into it. Lastly, I called my mom to say sorry, but instead, my stepdad picked it up. I asked for my mom and he said that mom has locked herself in their bedroom because she is pissed. My mom has this habit that whenever she is mad, she locks herself in a room. I asked why. He said that they had a fight about my dad. Basically, my mom had a hint that my dad was dating someone few weeks ago when he saw him at the local market with his girlfriend. At that time, I knew he had a girlfriend but didn't tell mom. She took the liberty to track her on Facebook. I don't know how she got her ID. My stepdad has caught her several times looking at my dad's girlfriend. There were pictures of dad and her too. So, their argument was that my mom was basically obsessed with my dad's girlfriend and has been stalking her. My stepdad said it's best that I do not speak to her for a while because she clearly has some issues of her own. Well, I don't know what to say. Someone you told me she was jealous that my dad moved on. This could just be it. I may or may not post any further updates. So, until then, see you guys. I will be in therapy working things out on my own. Edit. For fact's sake, people, I am really getting tired of people messaging me and commenting that my dad was a deadbeat dad who used me as a nurse. Some of you are so cruel that you guys think that my mom made the right choice by cheating on him and leaving him. To you, I have nothing else to say. You guys are just a bunch of triggered owls who only wants to blame the victim here. No, my dad was not alcoholic throughout his life. It only happened when he confronted my mom for her affair. It only lasted for like a year. And no, he didn't make me clean his vomit. I saw him covered in it, so I cleaned him myself, and then he woke up and saw me. I don't know how many times I have to repeat it. That was the first and last time it happened. You guys only see this part. But there is so much you don't know. He was the best dad I could ask for, and I wouldn't trade it just because one time I had to clean him up. I don't care now, because my dad has cleaned up my vomit numerous times when I was sick, and he did it without a complaint. I cannot believe you guys are so pathetic that you are only fixated on that part and not the part where he actually cleaned himself up and made a better place for me. He was not a deadbeat or abusive in any ways. Deadbeat dads don't put their daughters to therapy and fight hard for their custody.